Mike Hall, Howard Griffith, and Glen Mason back here on BTN Live. It's time for our ArcelorMittal Power Rankings. I'm pretty sure Carlos Hyde's team will be your number one.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Well, we'll find out by
Don't you assume
building
like
the
that.
drama.
Don't ever assume anything.
Yeah, you
All
know
right.
what they say about that.
Absolutely.
What did I say? Let's finish
I
that.
probably shouldn't do that.
All right.
I like my job.
How about 5-1?
Number 5, for me, this could be shocking to a lot of people, but it's Northwestern. The Wildcats are coming in at number 5 for me this week. Although they had an outstanding game, I still have some questions about this team, and I think there are 4 teams that just may be a little bit better than them moving forward.
Well, once again, we agree to disagree.
Really?
You know, I've got Michigan State. I've said all along their defense is spectacular. Number 1, it's a cut above. They finally got the offensive going. Connor Cook, I think, is going to be the quarterback. I've got him number 5.
If you
Michigan
got
State.
defense wins championships, would you agree?
Yeah, but you need the offense to go with it. And just one little slight glimpse of an offense doesn't have me convinced. Number 5.
That's a number 5 team. Okay, I agree. Couldn't change your mind there. How about Wisconsin in at number 4 for me? I still think this is a big-time team. They've had a couple stumbles, but I think they're going to bounce back because I think their schedule really lines up well. The way they play offense, downhill, they'll get that going again this weekend.
You know, I should have started out by saying, if anybody thinks this is easy this year in the Big Ten,
Picking the
you
top
people
5.
at home, you ought to try this before you start being critical because it's tough and you go back and forth. But I agree with Wisconsin.
Okay.
And they've lost 2 football games. It's hard to put them in the top 5 with 2 losses. But, you know, they played Ohio State, shoe to shoe. They got robbed against Arizona State. I still say they didn't necessarily
lose
the
it.
game. I love the way they run the football. No one is playing defense with more passion. They might be playing better, but with more passion than those guys at Wisconsin. And Stavi's throwing the ball.
I like what you said about defense and passion because that's my number 3 team. Michigan State, talking about a team defensively, I think some people might think they're a little high, but I really love this team, love the defense that they're playing. The offense will develop. It started to make some strides forward this last weekend. Now they have to put 2 games together again. But defensively, this team will be in it. That's why they're my number 3 team this week.
My number 3 team, and I really struggle with this, I have a hard time with it, is the University of Michigan. And I say that because they're undefeated. They really haven't played great yet. You know, I mean, Brady's saying all the right things, but they should be good defense, and maybe they've got Devin Gardner turning the corner and not turning the ball over. Michigan.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing for me, and that's why I have Michigan at number 2. I think they are starting to turn the corner from an offensive standpoint. If Gardner can protect the footballers, which is going to be key, and I understand that the challenges, and they barely won some games, and yada, yada, yada. But I still think this is an outstanding – did you like that? Yada, yada, yada.
Yada.
That was good analysis.
Where did that come from?
They're my number 2 team this week.
Who's number 2?
Michigan.
He just said.
Are you not
I don't
listening
know
to
if
me?
yada, yada, yada was or Michigan. I thought that was maybe another team. My number 2 team is the Northwestern Wildcats. I've always loved their offense. I saw a different defense, which we've already talked about there. And they're playing on the big stage. I thought they really handled it well. And I believe that if they hadn't bobbled that 4th and 1 on the sneak and got it, I think they would have won the football game. Plus, they had a block punt. I like Northwestern.
You should like them. I think they did a good job. I wish that they wouldn't have fumbled that one, and maybe they wouldn't have tumbled to number 5. But Ohio State.
I think I know who's number 1.
Who?
What I said at the beginning, it'd be Ohio State.
It is the Ohio State Buckeyes.
That's what I thought.
I got to go with Ohio State, too. I mean, you look at them, they're rolling, and now Carlos Hyde is back. Braxton Miller didn't play great. They're the number 1 team.
I did assume, Howard,
And you assumed correctly.
and I came out right. The power ranking.
Yada, yada, yada. Let me write
making
that down.
fun of me?
Let me write that down.